Welcome back to Tech Garage, presented by Advance Auto Parts. Well, our project, RSX Resurrection's in the shop, and Brian, I gotta tell you, you remember at the beginning of this thing? Vision, imagination, my friend. Well, brother, you believe now. This looks like a new car. It's transformed.
I was a little skeptical, but I knew we had a great platform to work with, and I gotta say, I'm impressed.
Yeah, and you know, you had a good idea. We started out with the drilled and slotted rotors, the brakes. We knew we were gonna put some power in this thing, so why not start with the brakes? And with the heat dissipation of those drilled and slotted rotors, man, those things did the trick.
Massive upgrade on that system. We can truly drive it in any type of conditions, which is what we designed this thing to do. And from the time this car was built to today, the technology in brake pads, we made an upgrade there too. And then we started to get into that power equation, swapped out the injectors. Those old ones were sleepy.
And that makes all the difference in the world. You know how important it is to atomize that fuel and get it into that engine? Yeah. You start talking power, hey, fuel's a perfect place to start. Only made sense to lower it down with the iBox springs and the Monroe struts. I mean, I knew you were gonna be autocrossing. We were gonna put a body kit on it. So look at the finished product. Those springs and struts really made it ride nice, handle, and safe to boot.
We got into more power. We did the cold air intake, opened up the exhaust, put that header on. So man, we're flowing a lot more air.
It's a big air pump, right?
Yep.
So everything we get in, we got to get out. The cold air intake did it, the header got that out, and the exhaust let it flow. So that was awesome. But you know, with the power came a little problem with the transmission and the clutch, man. I mean, I started getting into it. We had a little clutch slippage. So putting a clutch in, master slave, the complete package, definitely the way to go.
Made a huge difference. You know, at those autocrosses, when the light goes green and you come up out of the hole, you want immediate power to the road. We got that with a clutch upgrade. It was a big job, but it made a huge, huge difference. And then on that test drive, that kind of exposed a bad behaving rear caliper. Remember the thing was sticking?
Yeah, you know, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen to you guys. You get into a project like this, we probably should address that at the beginning, Brian, but you're gonna find things like that. Yeah. Calipers hanging up. It's an older car. Now the brakes are in good shape. That's all taken care of. You know, we went ahead and put CV axles, and then we put the ball joints in. We got pretty wise with that. So we went ahead and upgraded the suspension. And with the new CV axles, with the power, we're not gonna have any issues there.
Yeah, and the guys at Advance were so helpful in getting all those parts quickly like we needed, but I remember that test drive, and as I recall, we were both sweating a little bit because the AC wasn't working very well.
Tell you what, that condenser, we knew it anyway. When we had the front of the car off before we put the nose on, man, that thing was all rotted and it was leaking, so we went ahead and replaced that. That was huge. We got air conditioning, but as I was riding, test driving with the air conditioning, now it's nice and quiet. It hurt me a hum, man. That rear wheel bearing, we had some issues. Went ahead and replaced them both. Once again, older car, we're in good shape.
Geometry at all four corners. We want that, and that hub assembly couldn't have been an easier job. Got it on both sides now. I feel really good. You think it felt tight early on. Boy, does it feel good on the road now, especially when you hang it out in turns. So really happy we did that. Then we got back into the power equation. We added those Excel Beastie coils. We're throwing more fire. I love those.
Yeah, spark, air, and fuel. A little bigger bang, you're going to get more performance. That's great. Only made sense to beef up the cooling system, so the new radiator and thermostat, we're not going to have any issues with that anymore.
Tremendous performance in all conditions there. And then there was the paint. I remember the night this came back from Eddie Williams' shop on the flatbed. We couldn't wait to get it. The studio lights, man, does it look good.
Boy, does it look good. And the Montegi wheels and tires and rims, I mean, this really set it off. The matte bronze did the job. This thing is gorgeous.
And you know, there's engineering into the paint, all the prep. I was skeptical because all the dents and dings we had in this thing originally.
I'm telling you, look at the body lines.
The quality of work they do. Look at the lines, look at the gaps. It's fantastic. If you pop the tailgate, look how good this looks.
Whoa, wait a minute. What's inside of there?
Look how good that looks.
Yeah, and there's the icing on the cake. You're talking about that power equation. This is it right here. The Edelbrock nitrous system. We're putting a bunch more horsepower to that engine. I mean, this is really the icing on the cake.
Professional mounting. I love that. It's back here out of the sun. It's safely mounted. It's an easy system to put in. We got it all tuned. And of course, Chief Tech Chase and the team really did a great design through this whole thing. He wouldn't let us leave the shop without the jet programmer. This added so much power. We could do short tracks, big tracks, set the torque ranges wherever we wanted. This was a massive upgrade.
Hey, don't get mad at me. Chase let me drive, and let me tell you, this thing will smoke the tires. It is incredible. True transformation.
All right, fine. Well, I'll tell you what, I think you're headed to Bernie's. You're taking your truck to that one, pal, because I got this booked for an autocross.
Yeah, we'll be right back. I'll meet you at Bernie's with more Tech Garage presented by Advance Auto Parts.